Highlights for Christmas night on BBC2. Michael Palin discovers true love in the Swiss Alps with American friends.
Extraordinary. What shall you take back with you, Mr. Ashby?
Light the blue touch paper and stand well back. Gwyn Thomas's Working Class Roots. Take one. Action.
Anthony Hopkins plays the late Gwyn Thomas in Alan Plater's Selected Exits. Dawn French and Jennifer Saunders go Bananaramas in their Christmas special. And for Louis Buñuel fans, Catherine Deneuve finds a new distraction in the cult classic of erotic fantasies, Belle de Jour. And with Hangover Square at 12:30, this is Christmas night on BBC2.
A time warp in Worksop has been discovered, a doorway to the past at 7 Blyth Grove.
My earliest memories of Walter and William Straw go back to during the 1940s. As a child, visiting them at their home on Blyth Grove. I remember going into the front room there, and I was very impressed as a child because it was just like a room out of a museum. The inside was left completely unaltered, and this of course was quite so fascinating to the National Trust when they took over the house and they went in there and found it was a complete time capsule. In the house itself, there was no radio, no television and no telephone. In fact, William had never used a telephone in his life, and of course central heating, there was nothing like that.
I think they liked to live a very quiet life. They didn't like any interference. They didn't like any noise. Everything was very peaceful. They were a very close-knit, affectionate family, as I remember them. The house was left exactly the same after my mother died. When I used to visit this house, I noticed how the wood all did shine. She instilled into them this sense of heritage and family background.
Walter, he used to go every day up to the grocer's shop, so he would be out of the house during the day while William did the housework and the cooking. They didn't alter anything at all. Two reasons for this. One, they wanted to preserve it exactly as their parents had it, and the other thing being that they didn't like to spend any money at all.
Well, that's why he accumulated all that he'd got.
In William's bedroom, there was an electric light bulb, which the National Trust have found out was produced in 1932, and it still worked. And the reason why it still worked is William had never used the blooming thing. And of course, this is how they managed to, one reason why they managed to amass such a large amount of money at the end of the day.
I think life just passed them by. I think they just never got on with it. You know, I think days came and went and life went on at a leisurely pace, and they just grew older and never got married.
It was felt in the family that Walter would have got married if William hadn't have been there. We all thought that whichever brother died first, the other one would not last very much longer. But it was Walter, who was the youngest brother by 1 year, who did die first. And William, he was upset about this, but he wasn't devastated in the manner in which we thought he would be. William said on several occasions that he was leaving a packet to the National Trust. Now, of course, his own house is being made into a museum, and all the content, as the things as he used to call them, are all together, and I'm sure he'd be pleased about that.
We differ on this one. I don't think for 1 minute that William would have liked to think that the general public were going to be trampling round his home.
His funeral was in December, and the inscription that William wanted on the gravestone was just the words "reunited." So in other words, the family were back together again.
I would say that was typical of him. Yes, I would. Reunited. They were a united family.